Once again, stations, if you encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the Oregon Studio hotline at 336-831-0864. Stations, your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Duck's gonna pick it up, and here we go. Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. He's gone.
How about that?
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
Omarui for three. Yes! Oh, and a steal and slam for Williams. Duarte to the basket. The slam. For the third time in the last 5 years, the Ducks are Pac-12 champions. Outright champ.
Foley three. Goal! Foley ball. Left wing. Pow. Yeah, boom, boom. Regular season champions, and now Pac-12 tournament champions.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
So many wins to talk about. Dana Altman, Chris Duarte recapping the big men's basketball win as the Ducks are now on a 3-game winning streak. That's right. You got to love that. Ducks got back on the winning side of things this weekend with another classic game against Arizona. So 9 of the last 11 games between the Ducks and the Wildcats have been decided by 7 points or fewer. I mean, that's just the rivalry that you want, right? That's Oregon basketball. We're going to tell you about that. Of course, women's basketball with a huge showdown tonight and an announcement on that front. Yesterday evening, got word that the women's basketball game was being moved back 2 hours to 6 o'clock Pacific time. That's not because of COVID or anything like that. It's because of ESPN. But it's a good thing. It was originally going to be on ESPN2. Now it's on ESPN. That's right. Big time Monday night matchup. Oregon and Stanford. Huge opportunity for this young Oregon team. A chance against one of the best teams in the country in the Stanford Cardinal and the Ducks. Need to get back on their positivity train, I think. I think Oregon women's basketball a little down right now. Ducks are looking to take that negative energy, hopefully turn it into a win, and that'd be a huge win over Stanford. Absolutely huge win over Stanford. Also going to look at the quarterback spot a little bit for the Ducks today as on Friday, Tyler Shuck announcing that he will be transferring. So what does that quarterback room look like for Oregon football? We'll talk about that. Men's basketball, though, with just a huge win, and your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill is, as you can imagine, a busy Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. With men's tennis, women's tennis, softball, volleyball, track and field, shattering records left and right, by the way, with track and field. Just unbelievably incredible, awesome performances for them over the weekend. And what else can I tell you about today? Oh, Chelsea Hoffmann will join the show. Oregon lacrosse head coach, as in addition to Oregon baseball, Oregon lacrosse's season begins on Friday. I cannot wait for baseball and lacrosse to get going. All right, so women's basketball moving to 6 p.m. tonight, going to be on ESPN. That means a 5:30 pregame show with Terry Johns and Bev Smith. And football season tickets. Guys, it's happening. For the back-to-back Pac-12 champions, football season tickets are on sale now, starting at $376. Oregon football season tickets are back. Fans can visit goducks.com/FBTIX, FBTIX, to get to the purchase page. Season tickets start at $376. And fans, you can also utilize the new 3D seating map of Autzen to personally select the seats that you want to buy. And you can actually see what Autzen's field looks like from your seat. But not just the field. You can see the new scoreboard in the map as well. So if you're thinking, well, I got to pick out some good seats. Yeah. You know, you can look at the scoreboard too. I love it. You got to love it. So you can head to goducks.com/FBTIX to get to that purchase page. Howard says a majority of all college basketball games are won by 7 or less. Yes, that's true. But Oregon beating Cal, Oregon beating Washington State, Utah, those games have been maybe a little bit more than that. So for the Ducks, it just speaks to just how fun, though, that rivalry has been. The best part, though, as we talk now about Oregon men's basketball, Chris Duarte hit an absolutely huge shot when he needed to. Duarte was not very good in the first half. I think he'd be the first to tell you that he was a bit off in this game. Had 10 points, ended up shooting 4 of 14, 2 of 7 from 3. But the one that mattered the most came at the end for Oregon men's basketball. And I love, too, Chris Duarte tweeted this postgame. He said, hey, great pass from Will Richardson. Was a great pass on what was a broken play, but Chris Duarte giving the Ducks a big win in Tucson.
Truth I know, only truth I know, only truth I know.
And hits a three from the right wing. Chris Duarte drills the three. Oregon will win in Tucson again. Ducks beat the Wildcats 63-61.
Oh, that was fun. I tweeted it. Chris Duarte just makes my job fun. So we put that together. Josh Phillips did post-game, and I just thought it was great to have Chris Duarte hit a big shot after he had not shot the ball well. He hadn't shot the ball well. What a huge shot for the Ducks, though. 63-61 the winner. Eugene Omarui with 19 points. He has scored in double figures. Omarui has in all but one game in a Duck uniform. Pretty impressive. And also over this weekend, Eugene Omarui joined Amari Hardy, Eric Williams, and LJ Figueroa in the 1,000-point club. Oregon and Ole Miss are the only two programs nationally right now with 4 1,000-point scorers on the roster. That's a lot of experience. A lot of experience for Oregon. Now, all those guys certainly don't have a ton of experience in an Oregon uniform, but it speaks to the just overall, I think, maturity of this Oregon team. Big reason why they were able to win that game in Tucson. The Ducks did not play as well as they probably would have liked, but they out-rebounded Arizona 38-30. 38-30 in this game. Why is that such a big deal? Well, because Oregon got out-rebounded on Thursday by a team in Arizona State that on the season was -9 in rebounding margin. Ducks lost that rebounding battle 43-42, yet still won the game at Arizona State. Arizona had not been out-rebounded all season. Ducks were the first team all year to out-rebound Arizona. That was the difference in the game. Ducks ended up winning 63-61, even though they did not shoot the ball all that well, particularly in the second half. They only shot 11 for 28 in the second half, just below 40%. Found a way. Found a way. Dave asking, what do you think of the new blue uniforms? They look like Tampa Bay Rays uniforms. I didn't get the Tampa Bay Rays uniforms until you said that. It made me laugh, though, when you said it, Dave. I didn't mind the gray uniforms. I thought they looked kind of cool, to be honest. By the way, Oregon is up to number 25 in the USA Today coaches poll. They're receiving votes now in the AP poll as well. But those of you who are watching the show today, if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, yeah, I like them. The mighty Oregon gray with black. A little different for sure. A little different. I didn't get blue. I guess every TV is a little different. Maybe you saw a little more blue than the rest of us, Dave. But no, I thought that it they looked pretty darn good. They were a little different, though, for sure. So what does this mean now for the standings? Well, USC is sitting at 11-2. And remember, this year it all is going to come down to winning percentage. So USC is at about 85% wins with an 11-2 mark. UCLA is at 10-3. And thanks to our good friends, the California Golden Bears, Oregon sits in third place because Cal knocked off Colorado. And you know what? It was a little bit of poetic justice. And this has nothing to do with Colorado. It has nothing to do with Cal. It really has nothing to do with Oregon. But everybody probably saw that the Pac-12 put out a tweet that said, hey, McKinley Wright, only player in Pac-12 hoops history. They didn't say men or women. To have a certain number of points, assists, and rebounds. I believe it was 1,600, 600, and 600. Well, Then, of course, there were a few responses, more than a few. There were a lot of responses that were like, yo, Sabrina Ionescu. She's got 2,000, 1,000, 1,000. I will say, tremendous accomplishment for the career of McKinley Wright. But I just thought that it was funny that something like that happens, and then Colorado loses the game, drops down a slot in the standings so that the Ducks now sit in third place. Don't you love that? Don't you love it when a plan comes together for the Ducks? Oregon is, though, honestly in third place. They're sitting at 7-3 in the conference right now, and Colorado 10-5. They're sitting in fourth place. Well, guess who Oregon's next opponent is? That would be the Buffs of Colorado. Ducks lost to them in Boulder earlier this year. We'll see. Big opportunity for Oregon. Big opportunity for Oregon at 8 o'clock coming up on Thursday. Ducks and Buffs, that's next on the horizon. We're going to get a quick timeout. When we come back, Dana Altman, the Oregon men's basketball head coach, he talked with the media and broke everything down. You know, what went right? He's pretty darn happy after this win over Arizona. We've got Dana Altman with us next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Learfield IMG College.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, Fish Dad!
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union, and calling all cookie lovers, Crumble Cookies, rotating menu over 1,200 flavors. They probably could do 1,200 flavors, but over 120 different flavors that you can choose from actually weekly. Crumble Cookies over off of Coburg Road. Jack says, Coach pointed out several weeks ago that rebounding would be key for this team's success. Glad to see the Ducks have come through. No doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, I think that for a team that's full of 6'6" guys and without N'Faly Dante the rest of the year, now Frank Kempnon coming along, no doubt about that. But yeah, I mean, this team needs to rebound well. They're not the biggest team out on the floor for sure. Dave asking, why is USC a 5 seed? Yeah, a lot of the bracketology projections have USC a 5 seed. I feel like USC should maybe be a 3 or a 4. Seeding in the Pac-12 hasn't been great. That is true. I don't really have a definitive answer for that. I'm the first to admit that I get so lost in the Pac-12 season that I don't keep track of the national basketball scene probably as much as I should until right around this time of year when I start comparing resumes, getting into March Madness mode. So I'll be probably looking at that actually a little bit more this week. Well, Dana Altman's pretty darn happy post-game. He was not just pretty darn happy. I think he was a little relieved. But to say the least, the Ducks got some big contributions where they needed them. Coach Altman talked postgame with me and some other members of the media. He hit a big shot when you needed it, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. The play broke down. We were trying to get Will in the paint, make a play, and broke down. But I think Will delivered the ball to him on a nice little penetration. His man jumped in, and Will made a good read, and Chris hit a big shot. LJ and Chris hit the last 2 threes there, I think. And, you like those guys stepping up and do it. Those were 2 big shots for us, obviously.
We talked about rebounding being a huge key, Coach, coming into this game. You out-rebound them 38-30, and you did it without Eric Williams tonight. Had to be happy with that effort.
No, I'm so proud of them. I think that was the difference in the game. They're used to beating people up and getting second chance points. That was even. So I thought that was huge. And points in the paint, our zone helped us there, but 30-18, that was a big stat too. But no doubt beating them 8 on the boards. I told the guys going in, if we beat them on the boards, they hadn't been beat on the boards all year. They were plus 8.6 on the boards, and they hadn't been beat all year. So, I told them that was probably the biggest key. So I thought they did a really good job, of fighting. We missed a couple, but they're bigger than us, and in a couple spots, a little more athletic. So that was a big part of the game.
How big of a win is this for you guys, Coach?
Well, we got to make up some ground. We obviously didn't come out of either pause and play very well. I think we're playing a little better now. We're starting to get a little flow. Now, their defense made it tough. I thought their defensive aggressiveness and some of their traps in the first half and doubling some ball screens, gave us some trouble. But, I thought we responded, with a couple good possessions. And like I said, we got the 3 in transition to LJ, and then Chris hit the big 3 late.
Dana, if you can share what the play call was on that final play, and if it was designed for Will to go to the paint, then was that totally improv and improvisation there, or is there an option basically if they close off the baseline for him to get it to Chris, or is that just pure instinct at that point?
It was spacing. We wanted Chris to be behind Will, so Will was to drive and Chris to come behind him. So we thought that would alleviate any help. They weren't going to leave Chris, so if Will were to drive the baseline, they weren't going to leave Chris to come and help. And so we kind of wanted that one-on-one situation for him just to get into the paint with that left hand. And then, Will just made the play. The guy stepped and Chris was open.
Dana, on Arizona's last possession, did you guys defend that probably as good as you could have hoped given the foul with 1.1? And then, I know Chris had probably had maybe a better look than you guys would have liked, but an air ball, so I guess you'll take it, right?
No, I thought we waited to the last second on that foul. We had one to give, and I told him if it got under 5, we wanted to try to get a quick foul there, and we waited a little longer, but in essence, it helped us. But no, we thought they were going to try to run some back screens and get something at the hole to throw it up. So we didn't put Chandler on the ball. We put him in the middle of the lane, told everybody to stay with their guy. They set a pretty good pick for him coming up. LJ, contested it really well. He can't foul. It'd been nice if he didn't catch it, but he did get picked off, and I thought he closed really hard, and I don't know if he got it off in time. I don't know, but obviously it did get to the rim, so it worked out.
Yeah, Dana, you've compared to Arizona so much when your time here and just your respect for the program. 9 of 11 you guys have won now. I think first time in program history, 3 wins in a row in Tucson. Just the significance of this success you've had against Arizona right now.
Well, we've talked about it before. When we got here 11 years ago, we said Arizona and UCLA are the 2 best programs, and we've got to go after them. And, I do have a lot of respect for Arizona. They run their stuff. We had the zone. I didn't know if we could guard them, man. They run their stuff, and they've got talented players, and they guard. Sean does a tremendous job. He always has. We played against him when he was at Xavier, and he's always done a great job. You know, his teams play hard. They're disciplined. They guard the heck out of you. They rebound the ball. They do all the things winning teams do. So, you know, for us to, you know, we've just been fortunate. I mean, you'd like to say we have something, but we don't. You know, there's been some teams we've been unfortunate against, and there's some teams you're fortunate against. Things seem to work out, wash in the wash, you know, and, you know, we've just been really fortunate. You know, last year here, Peyton was unbelievable, and they missed some free throws. You know, you saw the big freshman that missed them last year. He hit the 2 there, you know, so that's growth. He's done a tremendous job. They've done a tremendous job with him. He's really developed. But, you know, beating them is a compliment. You know, it wasn't the same today because the crowd usually is, you know, ripping us the whole game. So it was a little different today, but, you know, it's a tough out. You know, Arizona, UCLA, USC is good this year, but, you know, those are still the teams that we got to compete with. And, you know, the last 5-6 years, you know, we put ourselves in that position, but it took us 3 or 4, 5 years to get there. So, but I'm really, again, guys, you know, the thing I'm most proud of is just the rebounding effort. You know, that's a big athletic team, and to out-rebound them was good for us.
38-30, the tally in rebounding. Oregon knocking off Arizona, getting ready for an 8 o'clock tip-off on Thursday against Colorado now. That's Oregon men's basketball head coach Dana Altman. Continuing on the basketball front, how about the guy that hit the big shot? Still dealing with his ankle. He had 18 points in the first half against Arizona State. Then he did not score in the second half at ASU. Rough shooting game. Still found a way to hit a big shot when the Ducks needed him to. That's Chris Duarte. He talked to the media postgame after the game winner against the Wildcats.
Chris, kind of just if you could take us through the last play offensively where you hit the 3 to give you guys the lead, especially. Was there any I guess there was no crisis of confidence despite, you know, the fact that you'd kind of struggled up until that point today?
Man, I have to, you know, thanks my teammates that were telling me to keep my head up, and thanks to Will on that pass over there, trusting me. So it's all about my teammates, man. We play hard, we play together.
Chris, coach was telling us the play was for Will to drive to the hoop there, and for you to follow. When Akinjo peels off to close off Will baseline, what are you just thinking in those couple of seconds as you're seeing him go over there? Because clearly you move to the wing and Will gets it to you, but you're thinking you're going to have to call timeout if he gets double teamed and he can't get the ball to you. Just what are you thinking in those couple of seconds and on the shot?
I don't think we had a timeout left. So we had 2 options. Or Will get to the hole, and then if we don't have nothing, then I had the hammer for me on the corner. And that's what happened. So Will didn't have the layup. He felt that I was open in the corner. I didn't have nothing. Then I give it back to Will, and he was unselfish player. He kicked it back to me, and I hit a 3.
Yeah, Dana was talking a lot about the importance of rebounding. I guess they were bigger than you guys. How did you guys accomplish this impressive feat of, you know, out-rebounding them so well?
Well, we've been talking about rebounding. You know, we haven't been doing a good job on the glass lately, and that was one of our main focus, rebound. And we did it today. We out-rebound them.
What was it about their defense that was making it hard to get open? Like, it seems like Arizona State was a real quick team, but were they Arizona just as quick, or what did they do to?
Well, I think they did a good job on the scout report, and they were really lacking on that. But, you know, thanks to my teammate, they trying to find me open. And again, they did a good job.
Chris, obviously you had a little experience in this rivalry last year, and the game at Arizona last year was one a lot of people will remember for a lot of reasons. Just how weird was it going into Arizona and playing in front of no fans today?
I mean, I'm still grateful for the opportunity that today we're still playing basketball, you know. We're not at home sitting down watching TV. So I'm still grateful though. It's been good. It's been great. I mean, it's not the same without the fan, but still, you know, we have the opportunity to keep playing, keep showing our talent.
Yeah, Chris, you're saying that your teammates encourage you to keep going. Did you feel like Arizona was doing anything different defensively against you than that you hadn't seen this year, or was it just kind of an off night, at least to start with, for you?
Well, they switch a lot, and me coming, as you guys see, every time I was coming off the screen, they never let me open, so they made me swing the ball. So they did a good job on that.
Chris, Coach said the goal this weekend was to hold both Arizona schools to under 70 to give you guys a chance to win. So just what do you think of your defensive effort overall today?
Well, I think we did a good job. You know, we still have a couple mistakes that we have to fix, you know, but I think we did a good job lately on getting stops.
Chris, just for you personally, how challenging has the last month been between the ankle injury last week and coming back and rehabbing from that quickly, and COVID and the pauses, but also dealing with it yourself? Just how challenging has the last month been for you?
Well, it's really challenging, you know. I didn't expect it, you know, to be like that, but it is what it is, man. You know, I'm just trying to win games, you know. I'm just trying to help my teammates and win games, you know. And if it takes me, you know, to play games after games, I have to do it.
How's the ankle going so far for you now, Chris?
It's I'm getting better. I'm gonna keep getting treatment on it, but still, you know, a little bit limping, a little bit hurts a little bit, but I'm good.
That's team first guy, isn't he? You heard it every time, almost every question. He had an opportunity to talk about himself and hitting a big shot, and he says, you know what, hey, no, thanks to my teammates. And Will Richardson's the reason I was able to hit that shot, because he found me, and he's an unselfish player. Yeah, that's what you love with Chris Duarte. I really love his energy, too. And defensively, he's still leading the conference in steals per game. If he hits big shots like that, that ankle loosens up more and more. I think Thursday, 8 o'clock, you're going to see a pretty darn good game between Oregon and Colorado. That's going to be a really, really fun one. Up next, we're going to switch gears, talk a little lacrosse. Chelsea Hoffmann, Oregon head coach, is going to join us ahead of Friday's season opener. That's right. First 6 matches on the road, though, for Oregon lacrosse. Yeah, first 6 games on the road. That's a lot of matchups on the road. We'll talk with Coach Hoffman about that coming up next. Also going to hear from Kelly Graves ahead of the big one tonight, Oregon and Stanford women's basketball. That's all still coming up on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. More after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Dear Wallet, you can't stop a new 2021 Toyota no matter the weather. The Camry all-wheel drive comes out to play. Snowy hills don't stand a chance against the RAV4, and everyone will be comfy in the Highlander. See you in the snow. Toyota. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Wallet, you can't stop a new 2021 Toyota no matter the weather. The Camry all-wheel drive comes out to play. Snowy hills don't stand a chance against the RAV4, and everyone will be comfy in the Highlander. See you in the snow. Toyota. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack inside the Country Financial Studio. Normally, I'd be introducing Coach Hoffman as my neighbor, but in the COVID times, we actually haven't been able to have the lacrosse coaches in the office. Their offices are located right down the hallway here in the Casanova Center from the studio. So Chelsea Hoffmann joining us. It's been about a year since I've actually seen you, so it's good to see you virtually at least. How are things?
Great, yeah. I know, coming up on 11 months since we really got shut down. So it is funny. I think I bump into people, dog parks or around town. It's like, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing? Missy Lombardi actually was like, you got taller. I was like, nah, you haven't seen me in 10 months. So I just look the same, but it's been a little different. But no, I've been good.
I have seen probably more coworkers, at the grocery store than I have actually in the hallway of the Casanova. That's when you said that like clicked with me. Like, no, that's me too. That's me too.
Yeah.
So catch fans up on what the off season was like, Coach. I mean, you guys get shut down. You mentioned it was about 11 months ago. Now you're gearing up for a season opener on Friday. Catch fans up on what the off season was like.
Yeah, the off season was quite interesting. We went into, from March really through the beginning of June, we went into Zoom sessions with our staff and athletes to really dive deeper into team culture, dive into strategy, certain things that we wanted to continue to keep them fresh with. And then we welcomed everybody back to campus in September. So we welcomed 10 freshmen, 1 transfer, and then the remainder of our roster. It went into about 5 to 6 weeks of training, but all socially distanced. So we were 6 feet apart, masks on, and no locker room spaces, all outdoor spaces. So a lot of for us was fundamentals and kind of getting the basics in, which was great for our team. We're young, and really getting them. I think by the end of it, they were sick of stick work, but we definitely got a lot of fundamentals in and really just got them back here to enjoy being around each other again and kind of getting that reminder of what it's like to compete and to really be part of something. So just fortunate that we had a fall, unlike a lot of other programs. And now we've kind of been in the grind since I got back, since I think January 11th, we started practice. And now, we're almost at our first game.
Yeah, San Diego State Ducks are on the road to open things up for the lacrosse season. Chelsea Hoffmann joining us. Tell us about what the camaraderie of the team has been like, Coach. I mean, that's such an odd question to have to ask, but I feel like it's so pertinent in these times.
Yeah, I think it's, I would say probably throughout the fall, that was one of the things our athletes had said was our biggest challenge, because we didn't have team meetings, we didn't have team dinners, we didn't have a lot of the events we used to have. And our athletes have been extremely diligent with, respecting the guidelines of our county and remaining, as strict as possible with social distancing. So definitely in the fall, I felt like it was a challenge. I think now that they're all here and we've all made the commitment going into the season on what it's going to look like and how we're going to proceed, I think they're starting to get to know each other a lot more on and off the field. Having 10 freshmen, they all kind of live together in their little pods, but then most of our athletes room together as well. So our bubbles are pretty tight among our sophomores and our upperclassmen, and then our freshmen are in the dorm. So I think they've done a good job so far. Some Zoom, sessions that have been a little goofy to get people out of their comfort zone and get to know them a little bit more. Some cooking classes that have kind of just given us a little bit of a breather away from the sport. But I think traveling as a team will be a really good piece too in the next couple weeks to get to know each other a little bit more and compete and kind of see what that next level of camaraderie can be.
You mentioned it's a young team, 12 freshmen last year. So what do you call them this year? Super freshmen?
We tell them they're sophomores, but they feel a bit like they're, super freshmen. But no, a lot of them had good experience last year in our 7 games. So we're just grateful that they did get that experience. It's just very different, not having had a full season. Even, some of our juniors and seniors, quite honestly, don't have as much experience as most teams in the country. So we're just really excited about the opportunities to compete, to get them experience, and have had some scrimmages over the last couple of weeks against ourselves to just get back in the routine of competing and having refs and understanding, what it's like to put on that uniform again.
Leadership, Coach. I feel like that's going to be a big question for any young team. Who are you guys relying on your roster this year?
Yeah, I think our senior class has been awesome. We have 5 seniors, 2 that are that have been here from the beginning, Allie Dunbar and Lillian Stump, and then 3 that are actually transfers. So 2 from Stony Brook with Marlon Mungatti, Rachel Williams, and then Olivia Mannon actually just came in as a graduate senior for us. So they've been awesome. They're really, as a senior class, I think setting a really strong standard on the field, and they've really done a great job with their communication off the field. We have named team captains, and we're pretty excited that Rachel Williams is a senior captain, and then Logan Gerke is a junior captain. Logan's also another one that's been here from the beginning and has been a starter since she was a freshman. So really great leadership. They both reside on the defense. So we're pretty pumped about the defensive side of the ball. And then we have, Lily returning from the last couple of years on the attack. So she'll be kind of our anchor on the offense as well.
I'm always wondering when you head into a season, I feel like every coach always wants more time to prepare. But are you guys just so anxious to start the season? I mean, I imagine that all of your athletes, you even coach, like you probably haven't gone this long without competing against somebody else since you were a kid, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was a 3-sport, 4-sport athlete. So, and that's exactly, you hit it on the nail. They're excited, and, we can teach strategy and go through situations and all these things. But when the first whistle blows, just to see them kind of get back into that routine, having so many athletes that have had senior years taken away from them and just opportunities that we are also, used to. We're just excited to see them compete, and we know that we'll continue to get better every single day. But getting them back into let's go at it and not play against each other anymore. I think they're just like, can we get to Friday already?
Lacrosse season starts on Friday against San Diego State. The Ducks will also play at UC Davis on Sunday. You can follow, of course, on social media. Find Oregon Women's Lacrosse on pretty much every social media that you can think of. Chelsea Hoffmann joining us. Coach, anytime you're going through a non-conference slate, normally I'd be sitting here asking, so what do you want to get out of non-conference games? I realize now that I'm about to ask that question, though, it's like, every game, it just seems like you're going to have some new questions in a year like this because it's been so long. So more general, I suppose. What do you hope to see out of this opening weekend? What do you need to learn about your team?
Yeah, great question. I think really I want to see where we're at and where we go, where we can go. So being so young, we'll see some freshmen that'll have their first start. We'll see some freshmen that'll score their first goals. And I think really seeing, how we can play at speed and how they handle the competitiveness and how they can handle the physicality. I think the biggest thing, to be honest, coming out of a fall that had no contact is we had to retrain people to get hit. Because in our sport, it's physical. So the first couple of reps of what are you doing? They're like, well, what do you mean? I was like, you're supposed to make contact on the body. So I think it's really going to be quite a shock to just get them back into a full game of what it feels like. Our games are normally 2.5 to 3 hours and they're physical. So really seeing how we weather during that game, but then also how we can bounce back to prepare for another opponent on a Sunday. Cause really our traditional Friday, Sunday games are our Pac-12 games. So this non-conference season really prepares us for that grind of what conference will look like. And I'm just really excited to see them play and have those celebrations of scoring goals and making stops and just giving them the opportunity to compete after everything that they've gone through. So it'll just be really fun to see the excitement and the joy, and there's going to be a lot of nerves, but just a matter of, us being a team together and taking it one day at a time.
First 6 games are on the road this year. San Diego State, UC Davis this weekend. Then next week, Notre Dame, Central Michigan. Then you get to go to Colorado, no big deal, and also playing Denver on a Sunday. It looks to me like a tough schedule, Coach, that you put together for your squad.
Yes, it is a tough schedule. We want to be the best, and we want to be at the top of our conference. So, this year of all years, obviously being able to have out of conference competition was really awesome and a great opportunity. But really being able to warm up with some West Coast teams and then really throw ourselves into some Midwest competition to prepare us for our Pac-12 season. We know we're young, but I want to get them a good couple games and competitive games to see, how much we can hang to get ready for what our conference looks like. Because our conference is definitely one of the most challenging across the country. And, I don't think that we've been as prepared in years past. So COVID has we won't always be prepared with COVID, but being able to just, put them in the best mindset possible, knowing that they can do it or they've done things before to get to that next level.
Do you feel like COVID has leveled the playing field across the country because everyone's had to kind of deal with all of these same issues and rosters are probably all a little deeper across the country? Has it leveled the playing field at all?
Yeah, I think so. I think it really is a true testament to each conference that I've really seen, the loyalty, the commitment in our conference and to other, Power 5 conferences across the country. It's really just awesome to see that women's lacrosse is a priority and that, during everything and after everything that happened last year, they can allow us to push to have so much of a full season as possible. So I think it's leveled the playing field. I think it's really, brought perspective to a lot of things. I would say for most of our athletes, it's brought a lot of perspective of you make a lot of sacrifices and you made sacrifices before COVID, but now you're making a lot of personal sacrifices. Our athletes won't get to see their families at games, and it's something where I think it brings us closer together as a group that we know everyone's making the same commitment, and we're gonna, work through it together as a family. So I do think it's brought a lot of perspective and given us a lot more to be thankful for.
Sure, absolutely. I think all of us have, I look around the hallway and it's a ghost town sometimes here, and it's like I just miss seeing people. I mean, it does bring perspective. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I love that. Chelsea Hoffmann, thanks so much for joining us. I look forward to talking with you throughout the course of the season, and best of luck. A safe trip down to Southern California, then up to Central California against San Diego State at UC Davis on Friday, and Sunday Oregon lacrosse season gets rolling. Coach, thanks for always taking the time. Looking forward to seeing you hopefully in person before 2023.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Joey. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be back in the office. Don't worry. We'll come into your stomping grounds.
I love it. I'm glad. Scott, I'm tired. No offense, Scott, but I'm tired of looking just at Scott all day. I can't do this anymore. All right, when we come back, previewing today's big Oregon women's basketball game against Stanford, we'll talk with Kelly Graves after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, welcome to the Spicy Drive-In. May I take your order?
Can I get the spicy chicken sandwich, please?
The spicy chicken is an excellent choice, sir. And to drink?
Whatever's fine.
Oh, may I make a beverage pairing recommendation this evening?
Sure.
If we are feeling especially bold tonight, sir, I would recommend the Mountain Dew with that. It's bravely unrestrained with a very alive aroma that pairs wonderfully with your spicy chicken. It's followed by a hint of zesty citrus flavor.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure you already know this, sir, but remember to appreciate the nose first by giving the Mountain Dew a little swirl to relieve volatilize it.
What?
To change the flavor compounds and activate your taste buds to get them fully primed for that chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
Now you're getting the hang of it. The muscular flavor-charged characteristics of Mountain Dew make for an absolutely epic mouthfeel when paired with spicy cuisine. It is quite on point, sir.
Dude, it's a perfect match. Like they were made for each other.
So true, so true.
When you want to make good food bolder and bold food better, do the Dew.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics. This is the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I could really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you. My thanks to Chelsea Hoffmann for taking the time to join us on the University of Oregon Alumni Association guest line. With lacrosse season getting rolling, that's our Women in Flight update of the week, brought to you by our friends at the Duck Store, a proud supporter of Women in Flight. The Women in Flight Oregon social media account today, by the way, they're going through and doing their virtual scavenger hunt. Encourage you to check it out. You can follow Oregon Women in Flight on Twitter, and I encourage you to do it because, well, they have a lot of fun, honestly. They have a ton of fun with the Oregon Women in Flight social media, at UO Women in Flight. They've got their scavenger hunt underway, and if you missed registration, still check it out. I encourage you to do so. Well, women's basketball's got a big matchup today. 6 o'clock now on ESPN. That game's been slid back by 2 hours and moved to ESPN. I guess ESPN decided they had an opening at 6 o'clock on ESPN. So, okay, Ducks and Cardinal are going to move back a little bit. Well, every head coach interview this year is brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Fight like a duck with cancer care you can count on. Kelly Graves, he caught up with media and previewed this big matchup as the Ducks will face the Cardinal on national TV. Here's Kelly Graves talking with the media.
Kelly, what would be your personal preference? Would you rather make up as many of the 22-game round-robin regular season as possible, or have a semi-normal postseason tournament?
Listen, I could go either way. You asked me which I preferred. Just get me 3 games down there somehow. You know, if that's in a tournament format, and then once, if we're eliminated or other teams are eliminated at some point, allow for some so-called consolation games to be played earlier in the day. At worst, that, you know, and perhaps even get down there on a Sunday or a Monday and try to squeeze in 3 games, maybe even a 4th for those that want to opt in for that many. So I think it's still, you know, up in the air. We don't know, and everybody's going to come at it a different way. You know, I've talked with Coach Van de Veer and you know, Lynn Roberts and J.R. Payne. There's some coaches that just kind of want to get done. There's others. We have several schools that are in the middle of the conference that could use maybe a quality win, and by playing an extra game or 2 might be able to get that, those bubble teams. I think those that are on top, there's about 4 of us, you know. For us, it's getting games and getting experience. I don't think we're enhancing our resume necessarily. So everybody's going to come at it a different way. That's why I feel for the Pac-12 officials. You know, I don't know what they're going to end up doing.
Coach, you've had a couple, obviously, instances, 5 now games postponed. How does this one hit you guys? Are you guys more used to it now, so it's easier? Does it ever get easier? I mean, kind of what's the emotional state for this team after obviously a tough game on Monday, hoping to bounce back on Friday, and that game doesn't get played?
Well, we want to play, and they want to play, because if we don't play, that means we practice, Eric. I'm not a whole lot of fun in practice, and you know, and any kid would rather play games. They'd want to play 5 games a week. You know, we had good fortune, good success against Cal last time, and that would have broken up what is going to end up being 3 top 10 ranked teams right in a row in Arizona, Stanford, and then at UCLA. So, you know, that's a tough stretch for a team that's kind of struggling right now. And, you know, so I think anything would have helped. But, hey, listen, I feel for Cal. I think they've done a great job managing this whole thing all year. They've been down in numbers, and Coach Sharman has done an awesome job. And those kids have played hard under the circumstances, and they have good attitudes, and just bless their hearts, they just haven't had the numbers to play.
Kelly, looking at your last game against Stanford, Sydney Parrish had a nice game off the bench. How was she able to be successful, and what will you look to her on Monday?
Yeah, Sydney played well. I think during that stretch, she was actually playing quite well. Yeah, we need her to continue to, you know, to be maybe an X factor for us. You know, she's just so aggressive, gets a hand on a lot of balls defensively, gets to the free throw line, and that game hit a couple of threes that were important. We actually played relatively well down there against them last time, and just a couple of plays here and there, and kind of a rough third quarter, you know, kind of doomed us. But we had a chance all the way down to the end of the game. So, you know, we need to get that back a little bit, and Sydney's obviously a big part of that.
Yeah, Kelly, you know,
when we were asking about the 3-point issues shooting wise against Arizona, you had said, like they're making them in practice. It's just not translating over into the game sometimes. Do you see the postponements and the stoppages as maybe a part of why that is, of not being able to build consistency and confidence in game, especially with so many young players?
Yeah, this has been perhaps the most challenging year I've ever had as a coach. And that includes years where we just weren't very good, and we're just trying to keep our head above water. The pandemic, it's over everything. Okay. So you come at it with that lens. Secondly, a very young team, maybe the youngest team in terms of years of experience in the country. That being said, still players in and out because of COVID, players injured. We actually haven't had the whole team together and playing and practicing as much as anything since the early December. And you look at our first 5 or 6 games, we were really good. And ever since then, it's just been kind of a hodgepodge here and there. So, Andrew, yes, I think anytime you can get into a rhythm, I think that's a great thing. When you know that you're going to play Friday and Sunday, Monday's going to be a run, lift, and shoot day. Tuesday is our day off. Wednesday's our day we really get after it and practice. That's our full contact day. Thursday's a prep day, game Friday, Saturday prep day, game Sunday. That routine, I think, is really important. And you just throw all that out the window this year. There has been no routine.
Yeah, we're all missing that. I think everybody feels that, and especially student athletes. Coaches are creatures of habit. I've seen it. I've seen it working in this profession now, and I think Coach is absolutely right. Some of the bigger picture questions, and then, of course, Sidney Parrish and the rest of the Ducks taking on the Cardinal here at 6 o'clock this evening. 5:30 pregame show with Terry Johns and Bev Smith. Up next, look back on the rest of the weekend in Oregon athletics. A lot of wins and some truly remarkable times being posted by Oregon track and field right now. We finish up Duck Insider after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
They say that car crashes happen in slow motion. The reality is that crashes happen fast. There's no time to think and no time to check if your child is in the right car seat. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your kids in the right seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Get more info at safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. We take a look at your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill to wrap up Duck Insider today. Unfortunately, men's and women's tennis both got postponed due to all the hazardous weather in the Pacific Northwest this past weekend, so we weren't able to see them in action, which that sucked. but they did get rescheduled to Wednesday will be the next matchup for the Oregon men's tennis team. And, of course, it's going to be Husky week again. That's right. Oregon men's tennis did get that game, or I should say the matchup with Washington, rescheduled to this upcoming Sunday is when the Ducks will take on the Huskies. Elsewhere, both men's golf and women's golf are in action today. You can follow along on social media. Women's golf back in action for the first time in a tournament. They played an exhibition, I guess that's the best way to describe it, an exhibition matchup with the Beavers, but now this is their first tournament and finishing pretty strong. And how about Oregon volleyball over the weekend? Matt Ulmer's squad swept the Wildcats, and boy, the head coach feeling pretty darn good.
So did I hear you tell the team you beat your win total from 2019?
I did. We had 5 Pac-12 wins in 2019. We have 6 now. So I don't know if I should have said it, but it felt right, so I did.
No, but can you just speak to just how just different things feel right now? And you've talked in the preseason and then in the early going about just why this team's in a better place. But can you reflect on that now that you've actually passed that milestone?
Yeah, milestone. I think
quote
again. I think what was different was 2019. I think this is more of normal. So I think it feels how it should feel as far as the group goes. And again, even 2019, it felt fine. It just, we just weren't ready. Yeah, we're just really young, and we just made rookie mistakes and unforced errors. And, we really don't make that many errors. We only had 9 attack errors for the match. And I think we did something similar last time like that. That didn't happen then. So, we're a lot older. We have a lot more experience on the floor. That really matters. I love the way that the team is bonded. I love how they celebrate each other. And I think they do that very well.
I love that. And that was Mosley who was asking that question like it's a milestone, right, with Coach Ulmer. He'll join us coming up on Wednesday. But the Ducks, in all seriousness, they won every set that they played. That's awesome. That's great. Got to love it. Ducks are going to play at Utah on Thursday. A little different Thursday, Saturday for Oregon volleyball this upcoming week. And Oregon softball, 3 run rule wins and shutouts to start the season. Kind of a close one in Game 4, though. Maybe they learned a little something, though, about how to win a close game there. That's going to be my positive spin on that. Then a run rule bounce back in Game 5. You saw the depth of the pitching staff. I thought that you saw a rounded offense for Oregon softball. And track and field, more records. So get this. The updated top 5 indoor mile records for Oregon after this weekend. Coubertier has the best time. He did that on Friday. Cole Hawker, second best time. The other names on that list, Cheserek is 3rd. Hunter, Charlie Hunter, he did it on Friday. And then Haney from 2016. 3 top 5s in one day for Oregon track and field. So many other great times as well that I don't have enough time to tell you about. But Zach Lawson put together a great recap on GoDucks.com that really goes through everything for you. Women's basketball, good luck tonight. Finishing up with your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, man, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Show the world that you're tougher than tough. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.